A shipwreck delivers statues and coins, then a corroded lump that rewrites history. Inside it, precision gear teeth from ancient Greece. This isn't a legend, it's a machine you can CT scan and measure. One question drives everything. What did these gears actually calculate? Proved by metal, not myths. The fragments were recovered in 1901 from a wreck near the island of Antikythera, later preserved in Athens. At first it looked like a corroded curiosity, until someone noticed gears embedded inside. That moment matters. Gears are not decoration, they're computation. The case begins with archaeology, not speculation. Only parts of the device survive. Fractured bronze fragments with partial gear trains and inscriptions. That's why reconstruction is hard, missing components create uncertainty. Our rule is strict. If a feature isn't supported by surviving geometry or readable text, it stays unknown. This machine rewards discipline. The modern breakthrough came from microfocus X-ray CT and surface imaging. These tools reveal internal structures and faint writing without destroying the artifact. CT doesn't invent gears, it exposes them. This is why Antikythera is evidence-driven. The metal can be interrogated. One of the strongest peer-reviewed claims, the mechanism predicts eclipses using the Saros cycle. That's a 223 lunar month recurrence pattern, encoded on a spiral dial with glyph markers. The study details how the dial and inscriptions work together like a forecast system, not a simple calendar. Prediction here means cycle-based computation, not magic. Saros isn't just a number, it's the reason eclipses can be anticipated decades ahead. The mechanism's design implies the builder understood periodicity well enough to package it into hardware. That alone is extraordinary. A portable device that compresses long astronomical cycles into gear motion. It's a mechanical prediction engine. The inscriptions function like a user manual, explaining what indicators mean and how to read results. Imaging has revealed large portions of this text, anchoring reconstructions in explicit descriptions. This is crucial. We're not guessing blindly. The artifact partially explains itself. In a mystery channel, that's rare power. The mechanism also displays lunar phase, again, not as artwork but as a computed indicator. That requires coordinated motion between sun and moon pointers. It's a clear example of analog computation. Gears embody relationships, and the display externalizes the math. You turn time, the machine returns sky state. Here's the unsettling detail. The moon's speed varies across its orbit, so a simple constant gear ratio won't match observed motion. Research discussions describe mechanisms that approximate this irregularity with clever mechanical modulation. The key takeaway is strategic. Whoever built this cared about matching nature, not just drawing circles. Another confirmed pillar is the Metonic cycle, linking lunar months with solar years so calendars don't drift out of sync. This is not astronomy for fun. It's calendar governance, deciding when months, festivals, and civic schedules align with the seasons. Encoding that in gears is a statement of applied science. The mechanism even tracks cycles tied to major games, turning astronomy into social scheduling. That feature signals audience, educated users who needed dates, not equations. It also reframes the device as an elite instrument, part science, part prestige. A machine that says, I can organize time itself. This is where myths creep in. The Antikythera mechanism is not a steam engine, not alien tech, not a modern clock transplanted backward. It's an analog astronomical calculator built with Hellenistic craftsmanship and mathematical astronomy. The shock is not that it's impossible, the shock is that it existed, then largely disappeared. Dating is constrained by archaeology and scholarship. A common reference point places manufacture around roughly 100 BCE, give or take, while the shipwreck itself is earlier 1st century BCE. These are not single-number certainties, they're bounded estimates based on evidence. In this case, close enough still means a technological leap. The front display is where reconstructions compete, because fragments are incomplete. A major 2021 peer-reviewed model proposes how the front could represent a cosmos display consistent with inscriptions and surviving constraints. Important label. This is a coherent model, not a fully preserved faceplate. Evidence supports direction. Details are still debated. Precision gear cutting, careful assembly, and calibration would have been required, meaning skilled craft infrastructure existed. This wasn't made by accident, it required repeated technique and quality control. The mechanism implies a workshop tradition, not a one-off miracle. That's why its loneliness in the archaeological record is so haunting. Complex technology can vanish without being wrong. If patronage collapses, workshops disperse, or demand shrinks, precision craft becomes unsustainable. Antikythera may represent the surviving tip of a broader tradition we haven't recovered yet. The wreck preserved one machine while history erased the supply chain behind it. Some functions remain uncertain because components are missing, especially claims that go beyond confirmed dials and inscriptions. That uncertainty isn't failure, it's scientific honesty. The mechanism is a solved mystery in parts and an open investigation in others. And that's exactly why it belongs on this channel. Call it a computer. If you define computer as a machine that maps inputs to outputs through encoded relationships. That's exactly what gear ratios do. They store mathematics in metal. The Antikythera mechanism predicted cycles of sky and calendar with hardware logic, 2,000 years before modern computing. Not legend, mechanism. If it sounds impossible, we investigate it.